Thank you. Rusty and I got up without using the stairs, so we're off to a good start here. There you go. And you're the young one. Father Frank Costello, properly labeled the Visionary, is one of the pictures in this slideshow today. In 1975, Father Costello and others, including Jim Daigle, then a student and now still to this day a great friend of PJALS, decided to open the Spokane Peace and Justice Center. Looking back, this was both an experiment and an act of faith. An experiment because no one knew if this was the right thing at the right time in the right place, and an act of faith, not necessarily religious faith, but just Frank and Jim's and others' absolute belief that it would work. They gave us the keys to a building and a small budget, and they supported and encouraged us. We really didn't know what we were doing, but Joe Albert, Kathleen Smith, and I, later joined by Matt Catcher, did somehow get some things done. We worked on world hunger, militarism, the death penalty, and nonviolence. Mac wrote a report on the power structure in Spokane, and we supported Yvonne Wanro, a courageous Native American woman whose appeal of her criminal conviction resulted in a landmark decision forever changing the law of self-defense. And Frank and the others were right. This was the right thing at the right time in the right place because people responded. They came to our events. We never had amazing events like this, but they came to our events. They signed up for our newsletter. They joined our steering committee. They donated and invited us to speak to schools, churches, and community groups. The local newspaper was also good to us. Just one example, the Spokesman Review years ago had its own Sunday magazine, and one week they had a cover story and a lengthy story inside about the Spokane Peace and Justice Center. Frank Costello died on May 23, 2016, a few weeks before his 95th birthday on June 12th. As an aside, in my view, if there's a heaven, and if anyone's getting in, it's him, because he is a visionary. Sadly, Frank's not the only one we lost. Kathleen Smith and Deb Albert have also died. Again, Kathleen was one of the original staff members, and Deb was married for more than 40 years to another original staff member, Joe Albert. I'd like to think that Frank and Deb and Kathleen would agree with me that the best thing we did in those early years isn't anything we actually did, but what we started. Because from that befuddled, clumsy seed has grown what is now the mighty Peace and Justice Action League of Spokane. And mighty indeed, the very embodiment of good trouble, with its strong, smart, and properly loud voice. In these times, these awful, awful, awful times when decency is considered weakness and cruelty is considered strength, that voice is more important than ever. And 50 years in the making, PJALS, including all of you, has shown now that it's ready to meet this moment. So here's to the next 50 years. Many of you look young enough that you could be here then. Not all of us, but many of you look young enough that you could be here then. If that happens, you may find, as I have, that while 50 years is a long time, somehow it goes by very fast. That's it for me. Thank you, and thanks for coming today.